Alright, y'all. I just want to make a big disclaimer um before we get into this video. This is not a hate video targeted towards any of the Type Soul devs or any this is not a video meant to spread hate. So I don't want anybody going in their comments in their Discord and anything spreading hate about this game. I believe it is a one of the best Bleach games out right now, but there's just some improvements that need to be made. Enjoy the video. Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we'll be discussing a very popular Roblox game right now. The game we'll be discussing is none other than Type Soul. What we'll be discussing about this game is all of its factors. We'll be going over all of the factors of the game and areas that it needs to improve in. Because Type Soul is a big problem right now. Let's get straight into it. The first topic we will be discussing is Arrancars. Arrancars have to be the most discriminated against race in the game. Reason being, number one, partial resurrection. Unlike Soul Reapers and Quincy's, Arrancars get something called a partial resurrection, which grants them one move from their resurrection. Okay, now, Quincy's get their own special move set, and Soul Reapers get their Shikai, which grants them 3 moves, while Arrancars only get 1 move, which I feel like is very unbalanced, considering the other two have their own skill sets, basically. Like a Shikai gives you 3 skills, and a Quincy just has their own personal moveset that me personally I don't know too much about, so I'm not gonna speak too much on, Quincy's. But Arrancars I do know a lot about. Now, the PvE aspect for Arrancars in places such as Wikomundo is a problem. The problem is that it is so tedious to get Vastolord or Vastocar because Adjukas just don't spawn. Now, people might argue that this is just so that the game can contain their relevance, or be able to have players play it for longer and grind for what they want. There's a difference between that and a difference between being too tedious. It is way too tedious to get Vastolord. I came into the game thinking, oh, bro, no matter how hard it is, I'm going to get Vastolord, because I heard prior to joining the game that getting Vastolord was hard. So I was like, I don't care what it is, I'm gonna grind it. But was I sadly mistaken? Vastolord has to be the hardest thing to get in the game right now, which is why I've never seen one in the game, and so many people just take their mask off right when they get to Adjuka. But that is the topic of Arrancars. As far as their move sets, I think it's pretty solid. The fact that you can just use keto moves and other stuff, Arrancars is a pretty solid choice. Their weapons pretty solid. Now, if you refer to this video and you say, "Oh, I want to be an Arrancar," and you refer to this video, don't. Do not become an Arrancar. If you want to have a fun experience with the game and not play it for the grinding aspect and have fun on the game, become a Soul Reaper or a Quincy. Do not become an Arrancar. The next topic we will be discussing is Soul Reapers. Soul Reapers have to be the most brain dead thing in the game, and I'm sure everybody who's in the game's community will agree with me. Earlier I was explaining about how they get 3 moves from their Shikai. There is no bad Shikai in the game, which is already a flag. I'm not gonna say it's a red flag, it's just a flag. That's already a flag. So that's something that we should know. There's no bad Shikais in the game. Every Shikai in itself is probably OP. Now, the thing about The difference between Arankars and Soul Reapers, Soul Reapers get their necessary requirements to getting their Bankai, like it's completely possible, while Arankars get one skill from their partial resurrection, which is probably mid, I'm not gonna lie, unless it's Bone, Vampirism, or Lightning, in my opinion. Now, with that being said, Soul Reapers get 3 skills along with Kendo moves that are just spammable. Now, if any dev sees this, or if like somebody can tell a dev to just skip to this part of the video, nerf Kendo moves. Just nerf Kendo moves. That's all I can say. There is such a problem with Soul Reapers just being able to spam Kendo moves and just like fly around and just do bodacious combos on you. Like, it's actually wild. Please nerf Kendo moves. Hakuda is solid. Kido is solid no matter what you go. I wouldn't recommend going it as a Soul Reaper. Speed is solid. Healing, if you're a healing, it depends on the type of person you are. If you're a healing person, healing is solid. I like it. Now, that's it for Soul Reapers. Me personally, and amongst the community, because I have many friends who agree with me, Soul Reapers are brain dead, and they need a heavy nerf in the future. But as of right now, I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the biggest problems of the game. The next topic we'll be discussing is PvE. The PvE aspect of the game is just non-existent. Remember earlier how I was explaining, as an Arankar, becoming Vastokar is too tedious. Well, that's because, correct me if I'm wrong, I've watched multiple videos on it, all of them have said something different. It's either 80 or 25 mass cracks that get you Vastolord. Now, this is not me leaking information, I'm not 100% sure, it's just from YouTube videos that I've watched. But if that is true, then it's impossible, because Adjukas just don't spawn. The most Adjukas I've seen in the game is 2 in one day, in an entire day, 24 hours. I've seen 2 Adjukas. The most I've seen total is 4 in the entire game. Now that really says something. PvE is not a big part of the game. I've never seen any boss in the game that has any significance. Bawa has a bit of significance, but nobody says, hey, let's go fight Bawa. Oh, when she's gonna spawn? Oh, I'm not sure. Now, there's no bosses or anything such as Aizen or Stark or Yamamoto or Ichigo himself. The PvE aspect is just non-existent. As a YouTuber that I watched a video on this game on, shout out to Dizzle. He actually said that one thing that I heavily agree with. They're still treating Type Soul as a CC game. Now, the timer system, that's pretty solid. I understand it, I get it. But like, come on now. 6 hours is crazy. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about right now. That's a later topic. Dizzle was saying how they're still treating the game like a CC game. Like, and if you don't know, CC games usually don't have a lot of like PvE interaction. Like, I'm not gonna lie, they usually don't have a lot of PvE interaction, and they're usually roguelike type games. Now, when you think of roguelike type games, you think of Deep Woken. Really, that's all I can get out. Rogue Lineage. Those 2 games that are roguelikes, they have a solid PvE aspect. There's bosses, you know. I hate to compare Type Soul to Deep Woken, but there's Duke, there's Chaser, there's a bunch of there's Sharkos, there's everything. The PvE aspect in this game is just non-existent, man. And so I feel like that's something that they also need to work on. Okay? Now, as far as ranking up in the game, Um, solid. I feel like that's a solid system. Besides the fact that you have to wait like 6 hours just to join the game back again, like I'm gonna tell you what I did as a low level. I would grind until I rank up, and then leave, and then get off, and then do the same thing the next day, and then the next day, and the next day. It gets repetitive until you get to semi grade 1, where you have to kill players in raids in order to rank up. Now, that's it for that topic. I really hope you pay close attention because I feel like that one was one of the more important ones. Now, we will talk about Quincy's. I'm not gonna lie, there's no problem with Quincy's. I just wanted to be suspenseful. Quincy's are pretty solid. Besides, this is more of a personal issue, but Quincy's could just back up and shoot people. But I'm not gonna lie, you can just parry it. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Now, speaking of parrying, this is the final topic we will be speaking on. Parrying. Parrying. Or no. We're not gonna be speaking on parrying. We'll be speaking on the combat itself. Type Soul is pretty solid when it comes to close combat. But there's one problem. Parrying. The parrying in this game is like so utterly atrocious that it makes me mad. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. It makes me mad. And when I'm fighting someone and I go in for a parry and then it like blocks for 2 seconds and then I end up getting punished for it, it just makes me so mad. One thing I know for a fact that they don't have in Type Soul is parry frames. The parry frame is just too short, and in a parry-based game with parry-based combat, my bad. It's just like it's a heavy factor, and I feel like it should be fixed. But with all these flaws in a game that just released, that is destined to have more players. Soon, Type Soul will reach its tipping point, and everybody will start to realize what I have just stated. Will this be the fall of Type Soul? I'm just playing, man. But anyways, hey, if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Please do not go hate on the people who made this video. I mean, not, bro, I'm tweaking. Please do not go hate on the people who made this game. Type Soul is not a really like bad game right now. It's pretty rough, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not a bad game. So make sure y'all go make sure y'all like, comment, sub, all that good stuff, and have a nice day. This is Shady, I'm signing off.